Hey guys, welcome to my channel and to the very first video of the series From Book to Life, where I break down key concepts of the book and share with you the systems that you can implement in your daily lives. So today we've got Deep Work by Cal Newport. The tagline of the book reads, Rules for Focused Success in a Distracted World. According to Cal, deep work is any professional activity that is performed in a distraction-free concentration that pushes your cognitive abilities to its limit. These efforts improve your skill, create new value, and are hard to replicate. Cal sets the scene by taking a macro view of the economy and sees how we are rewarded in it. This is especially important in a post-COVID economy where the value you bring to a business is more important than ever. There are two core skills that you need to thrive in this economy. First, the skill to quickly master hard things. And second, to produce at an elite level in both quality and speed. This brings us to a key concept of the book, deliberate practice. Deliberate practice is a two-step process. Step one is where you're so intensely concentrated for one particular skill. And step two is when you are actively engaging in a feedback loop. Say, for instance, if you have a pet project that you're working on and you're so heavily invested in that project that you focus all your energy, your time in getting that done. So naturally, when you're invested in a project, you would go out and get feedback from people. Say you go and reach out to your friends and family or your co-workers or your mentors to get some feedback to improve on what you've already done. So indefinitely, you are taking part in this process where you're focusing your energy in the project and also engaging in an active feedback loop. Deliberate practice helps achieve mastery because of what it does at a neurological level. When we are learning and focusing on new things, our neurons are firing. These learning neurons, as they fire, they develop a fatty tissue around them. This layer of fatty tissue, it acts as an insulator to help neurons fire cleaner and faster. Essentially, it makes the whole brain circuit stronger. It's like going to the gym and, training your muscles. Say you have leg day today, you're working out your arms tomorrow. What you're doing in this scenario are three things. You're training your muscle, you are doing it repeatedly, and you're doing it in isolation. When you apply the same to your learning neurons, you are firing the neurons, you're firing them repeatedly, and you fire them in isolation. In isolation is when you are focusing on one particular skill. So as you do this, in a gym scenario, your muscles get stronger. In a neuron scenario, your brain circuit gets stronger. And as you do this more often, your performance increases. Another key concept of the book is hyperconnectivity kills deep work. In this rapid evolution of the digital age, we have carefully fostered connectivity. Hyperconnectivity, however, is a form of distraction, and our brain responds to distractions. In the previous example, when we are learning new things and firing our learning neurons, we have all these neurons that will also respond to the instant messages that you have. For instance, if you're trying to learn something and you have got your phone going off with all the Facebook, Instagram notifications, your learning neurons are firing, and so is your Facebook neurons and your IM neurons. So essentially, the third step in the process that we described before is where they need to fire in isolation is just not happening. What's happening is your learning neurons are firing, your Facebook neurons are firing, your IM neurons are firing. So all these neurons are firing haphazardly and not in isolation. This kills deep work and you cannot focus as intensely as you would like in deliberate practice. This also happens in the business world where open spaces and glorification of IMs have come at a massive cost of distraction and inability to focus. The last key concept that I'll discuss in this video is deep work improves the quality of your life and increases your happiness. As humans, we have a tendency to create our worldview based on the things that we choose to focus on. So as we tend to focus and put more energy into one thing, our attention and focus starts to deplete. Think of it as a battery. Humans have a finite battery of attention and focus. And as we use up this attention and focus battery, it depletes. So once it's depleted, when we go into a recovery mode, which is a good night's sleep, we recharge the battery. When you are in deep work, what you're doing is so intensely concentrating on one thing that you tend to use up a lot of that battery. As we use up this battery, very little is left to focus on things that are irrelevant or unnecessary. So in a way, you're focusing all your energy into things that actually matter and not focus on things that are irrelevant. On the flip side, what deep work does is, as you're putting more attention and focus into solving one problem, you are pushing your mental and physical capacity to its limits. Studies have shown that as humans do this, we tend to create the best moments in our life and cherish them. So all in all, doing deep work improves the quality of life and increases your happiness. Comment down below and let me know if you have experienced deep work unknowingly while trying to solve a difficult problem. If you are new to deep work and deep work is uncomfortable for you, here are 5 ways that you can start your deep work journey. Number 1, start small. If you are doing this for the first time, do not go into a 1-hour deep work session because you will be disappointed. It is not easy to get into deep work just from the very beginning. So I'd highly recommend you start small with a 20-minute deep work session. Put that session in, get into the deep work session and see how you go. Maybe you like the session, maybe 20 minutes was too easy, so you could bump it up to 30 minutes or 40 minutes. And as you slowly build the time that you are in deep work, and you'll soon find yourself doing an hour or 2 deep work sessions. So definitely, if you are starting off with deep work, start with a small 20-minute session. The second step that you can incorporate in your deep work session is batching. Batching is a process where you batch in your 20 minutes deep work session into your calendar. In your calendar, batch in 20-minute deep work sessions for whatever day you plan to do it. So for instance, you can batch in 20-minute session in the morning, you can batch in 20-minute session in the afternoon, and you could do the same in the evening. Another way to do it is you can batch in 20-minute session, take a break for about 5 to 10 minutes, and batch in another 20-minute session without a huge break in between. So there are multiple ways where you can incorporate the 20-minute session, but I'd highly suggest that whatever works for you, definitely batch that into your calendar so you know this is when I got to do my deep work session and I'm going to do it now. The third way is to avoid looping. So looping is a concept where when we try to solve a problem, if we have spent enough time on it, we do have some existing knowledge on what the problem looks like. So for instance, if you have spent some time on the problem previously, you would have some existing knowledge before you go into the new deep work session solving that problem. So looping is when in that deep work session, instead of diving deeper into the problem, you are going into this loop where you start the problem, you go to what you know before, and then you come back, dive deeper, but then jump again to what you knew before. So this whole cycle is called looping. If you find yourselves getting stuck in this loop, be very conscious of it and try to pull yourself out because looping restricts you from diving deep into the problem. The fourth way is to create artificial deadlines. This is something I do all the time. I do it for my work, I do it for meal preps, I do it for shopping, and literally everything that you can think of. Creating artificial deadlines does 2 things. It creates a mental note of what you need to get done. And secondly, it creates a sense of urgency. So if you have something that you need to get prepared for on a Friday, maybe create an artificial deadline of either Wednesday or a Thursday. So in that scenario, you do leave yourself with at least a day to refine the problem. So when it's time to show up on Friday, you are ready and good to go. One quick thing before I jump into the 5th way is create a sense of urgency, but not too much in a way that you're pressurizing yourself unnecessarily. The last way is to ritualize the whole process. I like to batch in my deep work sessions with a definite start and a definite end. So at the definite start, say about 5-10 minutes before the deep work session, what I like to do is I put my phones away, I'll close all the browsers, all the YouTube, everything that I have open, I'll close it all off. I write down key things that I would like to get done in that deep work session, probably 3 to 5 main pointers. So that is the definite start. Like I know that after I have written those 5 things down, I'm going into the session. And as a part of a definite end, When I come out of the deep work session, I go back into the 5 dot points that I had made before, and then I check out the things that I got done. And for whatever is not checked out from that list, I use that to go into my next deep work session. I feel that ritualizing the whole process creates a system and a rhythm around your deep work session. Using these 5 ways in a combination that is ideal for you is the best way that you can get started on your deep work journey. I hope this summary of the book and the tips discussed in this video helps you kickstart your deep work journey. Thank you for watching. See you next time.